videos. Now, to give you a taste on the use of storytelling in the marketplace, we're going to bring you to a live talk show where our co-host Isabella will be interviewing an award-winning real estate agent on how to use storytelling in marketing. Over to you, Isabella.
Thank you, Suzanne. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Isabella Show. Today, we are joined by a special guest. In 2018, she was awarded the Top 10 Achievers Award for ERA Reality Network. And she is also the founder of Client-Centric Property. Please join me to welcome Anna M.
Hello, Isabella.
Hi, Anna, how are you?
Thanks for having me here today.
No
Thank you.
worries.
Yes.
So, Anna, I know as a realtor, you get the pleasure of seeing a lot of beautiful and unique properties in Singapore.
Yeah.
And as for me, I am obsessed with house designs. I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching house tours, and so I think being in real estate is quite an interesting business. So now, was it always your dream to work in real estate, or did you have a different dream growing up?
No, actually, when I was a small little girl, right, when I was 5 years old, I saw this Andy Lau show about being a lawyer. So my family was quite less than well-to-do. So what happened was I had a dream to be a lawyer so that I can bring home a lot of money to feed my family. And then also I can do a lot of good things as a lawyer is a professional.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about your childhood. What sort of circumstance were you guys in at the time?
When we were young, we stayed with our grandparents in Telok Blangah. And then unfortunately, when my dad was finished paying for the house, right, his name was taken up by my grandparents. So we were chased out of the house and we were homeless. So after that, lucky enough, we managed to get a studio apartment from HDB for rental. But not long after, government decided and blocked the place, and then we were forced to move again. So all along, it was not very smooth. But until the time when I grew up, about 21, my parents decided to divorce. And that time, there's 4 of us in the family, 4 children. I'm the eldest. So along the way, we always met, having this problem of putting food on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So money was definitely a big issue, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
you definitely, obviously, one of your main goals was to find that income that could help survive you and your siblings.
Yes.
Yeah. So in which point in your life did you decide to take a leap of faith in real estate?
Okay, so what happened was, actually, I started off with getting a diploma in legal studies. And then after that, which I went to the first law firm to work and the second law firm, then I realized that, hey, I go and work in a bank, I could get more money to put food on the table for my siblings. And then after that, which one day, one of my banker friends, she told me, hey, I'm going back to real estate. So why don't you join me since you're so hardworking? Just join me in real estate. The sky is the limit. You will get as lot money as you can ever imagine. So I said, is it true? So true? Then I jumped. So I jumped with her.
Job is simple.
Yeah.
Money is the main goal, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know about how anyone could get started in real estate. Was there somebody that guided you? Was there a mentor? Do you have a mentor?
Yes, so first of all, the lady who opened the door to me was my friend into real estate business. But then shortly after, I found this mentor that I really, really respected a lot. He's someone so passionate into this real estate, right? He could go on for hours and hours on the stage, just giving us examples and examples of real life scenarios that he's met, just to teach us how to talk to customers, how to prop them, and sometimes even storytelling. Yeah.
He was very dedicated.
Yes, very, very.
So what sort of qualities about him really stood out to you?
Persistence. He's very passionate. Yeah, and he does things with a big heart. So he always tells us, don't chase after money. If you chase after money, the money will run away from you. So what you should do is try to do whatever you're doing best. Then customers will come to you.
Right.
And when you do things for customers with a heart, then they will come after you as well. Yeah.
And have you channeled some of those lessons and qualities that he has into your work?
Yes. So I started to use my heart to do things for customers. There was actually one customer during my very early days. He's a very old customer, old man. So I see that he's like my dad's age, and he had difficulty selling off his penthouse. So because of that, I sold off for him. But towards the end, I gave him a big discount because I felt like I love the customer so much, you know. It's like, okay, just give him a big discount. Yeah, so after that, this customer has been in touch with me since then, more than 10 years already.
So you really made a connection with him, right?
Yes, correct.
So in the initial stages of your career in real estate, what were some of the struggles you faced, both in your personal and professional life?
Okay, so personal one is more of like, okay, I was married in 2005. So then we didn't have kids for like 5 years. So what happened was, when I entered the trade in 2006, right, my husband was saying, hey, what have you been doing? You know, it's like suddenly jump into this business and every night you're back home late, you know, come back 1, 2 a.m. Then who have you been with?
I'm very suspicious of you, right?
Gallivanting around, that kind of words used on me. Then I was like, oh, then I have to put my foot down and tell him that, no, I'm just working. You know, when my work is done, I will come home. But I'm not partying around, hanky-panky with other people, no. Yeah, but we do have a lot of guy partners in the trade.
Right. So obviously it's...
A lot of trust is needed, yes.
He had a lot of worry.
Yes.
Obviously you got him to understand the job scope.
Yeah, so a lot of transparency is needed. So for this relationship to work out, or any relationship. So I always share with him what's going on in my work, which client I'm talking to, whose house I'm going today, that kind of thing. So by and by, he realized that, oh, then as he sees that the money is coming in as well, then he realized what you're doing is really work. You're not partying around.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about your professional life? Was there any obstacles you faced?
Yes. One of the obstacles is the struggles of learning, the learning curve. So when you first began, you don't know which is a mentor to follow after, right? And not many people are willing to teach. So you have to start to learn the ropes, you know, one at a time. Yeah, so that was the difficult part. But after we found a mentor, it was quite smooth sailing. So the second part after that was the juggling of costs. Yeah, because a lot of agents, senior ones will tell you, oh, you want clients, right? Throw money, lor, just throw money. Yeah, so you throw flyers, you throw advertisement, you throw everything. But doesn't mean that you throw a lot of money, you will get back what you want.
Yeah, you won't get the fastest results.
Yeah, so actually the skill is also another main factor.
And so in the learning, did you apply anything that from your previous jobs into
Aye.
career?
Yes. Okay, so Isabella, during my earlier days as a very new and young newbie agent, right, not many people are willing to give me their cases. But I was lucky that one of my friends, she passed me her friend's case, which needed a lot of like legal background work. Yeah, so actually what happened was the lady's husband passed away. It's a deceased case. So I think she called up a huge stack of agents' flyers. And then when I went to her house, she told me it's very strange that she called all of them. None of them want to come to her house to help her sell. So I'm the only one. So I said, never mind, show me all your court documentation for this deceased matter. And then I'll look through it, then I'll sell for you. So it was very fast. So all for her, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good that you made an impact on her and helped her.
Yeah.
So how would you weave in storytelling to help your potential customer to purchase a home of their choice?
Okay, how should I put it? I remember of this one case. What I did was, I can imagine that actually we are coming very close to the negotiations to close up the deal for this client. The property is about maybe close to 2 million. Okay, so yeah, it's about 2 million property in District 10. So this buyer has really offered quite to a very close gap. The gap for that money amount, right, to many people, even myself, I feel it's a big sum of money. But I know that to the buyer and the seller, actually to them is something that they negligible. So okay, so I called up the buyer that day, and then I decided to really put down my pride. Yeah, and then I said, Mr. Customer, we are really getting so close to it. I can feel it already. I can feel it. We've been negotiating for the past 1 to 2 days already. So I can feel that if you will just come a bit closer, just come a bit closer, then we will be there. But then he said, no lah, Anna, you try for me. So I said, but I have tried many ways. I tried maybe, how about I cut my comp here, I cut my comp there. I tried to cut, but I said, but even if I cut away all my comp, I could not cover it myself. So then I said, oh, Mr. Customer, actually, you're up there, and I'm just one of the small agents of ERA, So if you can just help me, I really would be very happy, like a Christmas present to me to close this case,
Yeah.
And it was nearing Christmas time. So he said, oh my God, you say that to me. Then he heaved a sigh like that over the phone. Then I was like, oh, please say yes. Then he suddenly said, okay, 90,000 more. That's all I can go. So he dropped another 90,000 more
That's
to
progress.
buy the house, yeah, for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And like throughout your career, has there ever been like a client that you feel you're very connected with because you were able to share some personal stories, to help them with the decision process?
Yes, there was this very close friend and client of mine. Actually, she is a divorcee. So what happened was the husband actually had joint custody of the son with her and him. But the husband has a better place of stay, as in a condo with his new wife. So he took the son to stay with him. And because my client, the lady, right, which is the ex-wife, she is staying with her mom. And her mom's house is overcrowded, so she has to sleep in the living room.
Right.
So because of that, right, there wasn't much chances for her to actually ask the boy to come and stay with her son. And then the husband will always give her reasons like, oh, you know, if you bring him back, then where is he going to sleep? In the living room with same as you? So because of that, she wasn't able to bring the son home.
She's put at a disadvantage a bit.
Yeah, so then after that, she did look through a few houses with me, and then she couldn't decide. And one day she suddenly told me, you know, Anna, I don't know what is the main purpose of buying a house at this point now for me. It's such a big burden. And then I said, oh, see, actually, I'm not here to push you to buy any house. But actually, why do you think you would want to buy a house? Then she said, I want my son to come back home to me. Then she said, but I'm not so sure if you'll work out. I said, maybe I just let you know. Your ex-husband may be in a better position now, but he won't be up there forever because you know life is not all plain sailing for everybody. So I said, but what would you think if one day he really is not doing so well, and then the judge, you want to fight back for the custody of the son, okay? And then the judge is going to look at you, and then the judge will say, okay, do you have a proper financial income? You will have, but how about a proper place of stay for your son? Can you imagine if right now you already have a house, by the time he's ready to come back, you would have a ready shelter for him. And then at that moment, she got an aha moment. Then she said, oh yeah, you're right. And so the next 1 or 2 houses she bought.
Right. And you were able to, in a sense, relate to her because you could share your personal stories of your parents being divorced.
Yes.
From the child's perspective.
Yes, correct.
Well, that's good that you actually made an impact on her, at least connect to her at that level, because I'm pretty sure she really cherishes it.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you very much for coming today.
Okay.
It was really great you could share your story. I think your story is very inspirational. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, that is the end of the Isabella show. So I'll pass this time back to Suzanne. So over to you, Suzanne.